Welcome to Fun Small Talk, a 3-part course video series designed to help you master the art of conversation and reconnect in the real world. In an age when so many of us are glued to our screen, the ability to just walk into a room and start a conversation become superpower. Throughout this course, we're gonna go through everything from overcoming shyness, how to read body language, and eventually how to create an engaging conversation. The tone is energetic, practical, a bit playful, but wise, just like having a friendly mentor guiding you through the process. Let's go! Before we begin, let me give you a few tips that are gonna supercharge your learning. Number 1, keep a journal. Grab a notebook or an app and write down your thoughts and experiences. Writing down about what went well, what felt awkward, can help you reflect and improve. Research shows journaling can boost your communication and confidence by helping you process the experiences. Every time you try a homework experience or have just a random conversation, note it down. And with time, you will literally see yourself improving. Number 2, engage with the materials. I will share videos, articles, and books along the way. Do check those out in the research list. They will deepen your understanding and broaden your perspective. Plus, some of them are really fun and eye-opening. If I share a technique or a story, feel free to stop and think about how you may apply it in your own life. Taking a brief notes can solidify the idea too. Number 3, watch the examples. If it was an in-life course, a workshop, I will demonstrate those skills live. In an online course, I will have to rely on storytelling and hypothetical examples. Pay close attention to the examples that I give. Maybe I will recall how I went into a party and I had a weird hello with someone, and later how I did it better. Visualizing those examples can help you see how you can use those techniques and bring them into life. Tip number 4, do the homework. Don't worry, it won't be any graded tasks or essays, but I will share a few quick homework challenge to help you practice in a few lessons. It's gonna be easy stuff like practicing body language in front of the mirror or saying hello to the cashier. Those are crucial for turning knowledge into skills. Conversation is something that you learn by doing. So please, do check those out. They are practical, simple, and I promise, even kind of fun. Number 5, practice, practice, practice. Finally, the golden rule. Keep practicing all the time. Use every opportunity you have to say a quick hi, ask a question, or tell a story. The more you're practicing, both during and after the course, the more natural you become. You can think of it as going to the gym for your social skill. Follow those footsteps and you set yourself up for success. And the most important, be patient and kind to yourself. Remember, every expert was once a beginner. With that, let's kick off course number 1 for real. Let's talk about mindsets. It's so nice to virtually meet you finally. I'm so excited to be your guide throughout this process of becoming more outgoing. Believe it or not, I wasn't always as confident as I am. In fact, I used to be a shy kid who avoid eye contact. But with time, I learned how to fall in love in this art of communication. And I can't wait to share this wisdom with you. This first course, it's all about mindset. How to overcome the social fears that holding us back and start a conversation with a complete stranger. In today's world, the ability to start this kind of a conversation with a stranger is probably the best gift you can give yourself. So welcome to Fun Small Talk. Let's quickly dive into the first part of the first course, how to overcome social fear and how to build a strong mindset. Now that you're all oriented, let's talk about something that keeps so many of us busy and concerned. This feeling of anxiety when we're approaching to talk to someone new or speaking up in front of a group. In this lesson, we will explore where this fear is coming from. By understanding what's making you nervous, it's a powerful first step towards feeling less nervous. Imagine that you walk into a room full of strangers, maybe a networking event or a dinner party where you know only the host. For many of us, that could be a very intimidating moment. There is a nervousness sneaking in. What if they will judge me? What if I will make a fool of myself? What if I have nothing interesting to say? Those thoughts could be extremely paralyzing. I remember when I just started my journey towards become more outgoing, that was my worst fear. Start a conversation with someone new and then my mind goes blank. These thoughts was so paralyzing that often I choose just to stay silent or simply stick to those that I already know. It turned out that fear of public speaking, particularly talking with someone new, it's extremely common. In fact, public speaking rank among at most or near the worst fears people have. Yes, some folks said that they fear it more than death. So if you fear a little bit scared before you enter into an event, you're in a very good company. But why something so non-lethal as communication feels so dangerous? Let's have a look. This might surprise you, but this fear is wired into us partly by evolution. Thousands of years ago, humans used to live in small tribes. Survival often depends on each other. So if you were ostracized, you could be left alone in the wild, which was life-threatening. Fast forward to today, being laughed at a meeting or having an awkward small date won't kill you, but your brain reacts like it might. That's why speaking in front of a crowd could spark these sweaty palms, heart race, and this urge to run away. Your brain simply telling you, be careful. If this goes wrong, we're gonna be cast out. Of course, in the modern age, those fears are, I won't say non-relevant, but the risk it's not that high anymore. Still, understand this evolutionary perspective can help us go easy on ourselves. Understand that being scared or concerned from a social situation not mean that you are weird or weak, simply mean that you're human. Our ancestors gave us this brain that's very good in being cautious among scary situations. By understanding that, we can really be more easy on ourselves. So the trick, it's not to let it stop you, just to know how to do it better and how to manage yourself while you're in the interaction. Let's list a few common fears and see if any rings the bell. Fear of rejection. What if the people in the event won't like me or they wouldn't like to talk to me? Fear of embarrassment. What if I will say something wrong or stupid? Fear of silence. What if I will start speaking and then the conversation will dry out and I have nothing to say? Fear of judgment. They will notice that I'm weird. They will notice that I'm stressed and they will think poorly of me. All of those stress types, all of those thoughts are completely normal. Even the most outgoing people still thinking in these terms sometimes. They still have moments of doubts. Trust me, as a public speaker now, every time that I'm about to speak in front of a crowd, I still have this feeling of twinge of nervousness. It's never fully goes away. I just learn how to cooperate with it. Now let's do a quick reality check. Here are the good news. A lot of the things you're afraid might happen are rarely do happen. And when they do happen, they are not as bad as you imagine. Have you ever been part of a crowd watching a speaker who stumbled on a word or lost his train of thoughts? Did you boo them off the stage? Of course not. You probably just wait patiently or even empathize with them. Similarly, there is no reason to believe that people will reject you on a drop of a hat. They're probably just busy on their own thing to harshly criticize yours. In fact, here is a simple truth. People are worried about their own impression to pay attention to your impression. It doesn't mean that weird situations not happen, but when they do, they are not as bad as you imagine, and most likely the other person already forgot about it. Let's talk about the spotlight effect. We tend to overestimate how much people noticing our mishaps. You may roll one silly word that you say in one conversation for days while the other person completely forget about it. Why overcoming fear matters? You might ask yourself, if social fear is so common, why won't I just avoid situation that trigger it? You might avoid some, but you're also gonna pay a price. Avoiding speaking to new people might feel safe, but it's also mean a missed opportunities. Friendships that never form, networking connections that never made, or stories that never told. By overcoming this fear, you are open up your world. All of a sudden, a party become a place of opportunity, not dreads. Even a small networking event become a perfect place to meet your next mentor or a client. Even a casual chat in the line for a coffee become an opportunity to brighten your day. The goal of this lesson and this course isn't it to eliminate the butterflies in your stomach, but to teach you how to fly in formation with them, so to speak. So next time that you have these worry bubbles up, just remind yourself, it's just an old friend trying to be cautious and telling you, pay attention. You can recognize that he's there, say, hey, I'm noticing you, and keep going anyway. In the next lesson, we'll talk about how to retrain your brain to build courage. But for now, simply recognize fear for what it is, just something that you have to work on. Now that we demystified social fear, it's time to fight back with some mindset. You can think about this lesson as a pep talk to your brain. I will share a very powerful mindset shift that will help you see small talk not as a threat, but as an opportunity or at least fun experiment. Remember that everyone feels a little bit nervous when they're approaching someone new. The goal of this course and this class isn't it to magically eliminate your fear, but to change the way you look at that. Accept the universality of fear. The smooth-looking networker at the office or the confident-looking guy at the party, they have fears and insecurities too. So next time that you have this fear bubble up, just remind yourself, probably half of the people here feel exactly like me. Just this thought alone can release immense amount of pressure off your head. You are not the odd one out. You are part of the human club. Number 2, redefine what conversation it's about. Here is a common misconception. If I won't be perfect, people won't like to talk to me. Let's bust this myth right now. Conversation, it's about connection, not perfection. You do not need the funniest jokes or the most profound stories to be liked. Conversation, small talk, is simply a way for two people to signal to each other, I'm friendly, you're friendly, cool. It's a bridge to the most profound conversation later on. If you stumble on a word or having a weird pout, it's not a game over. In fact, trying to be perfect can often backfire. It could make you appear less genuine and the conversation a little bit more stressful. So allow yourself permission to be a human, and remember that you can always share a laugh over awkward situations, and humans appreciate genuine over polish. 3, challenge negative thoughts. Our brain tends to create thoughts that increase our social pressure. This is happening because we always assume the worst. They will think I'm boring, or if I say hi, they will think that I'm weird. Each time those negative thoughts bubbling up in your brain, challenge them. You can ask yourself, is it really true? There are any evidence for that? For example, is it really true that people don't want to talk to you? The truth is that most people will love that someone friendly will break the ice. They may be shy too, or you may be concerned, if I will say something wrong, people will hate me. But think about the last time someone says something which is not true. Did you hate them, or you barely noticed? Probably the latter. Train your brain to challenge those negative thoughts. A more balanced way gonna look at that in the following way. They're probably natural, means they don't care if I will start a conversation or not, or they're gonna be happy that I start a conversation. With time, you will see that the demon is not as big as you think. If the convo doesn't click, this is okay. Not every conversation meant to connect, and it's absolutely not your failure. Start small, gradual exposure. Conversation, it's something that you build through exercise over time. You won't go to the gym and lift a 300-pound weight at the first day. You're probably gonna start small and build the weight over time through exercise. The same goes for courage and a conversation. If starting a conversation in a networking event right now feel like climbing Mount Everest, start at a base camp. Small talk could be as simple as saying hi and making eye contact with the barista, or having one sentence comment to your neighbor about the weather. Celebrate those. Later, you can approach a coworker that you not usually talk to and ask him how his weekend was. Later on, you can challenge yourself by talking with people in the bus station or people in the line for the coffee. A low-risk conversation with people that you're probably never gonna meet again, which make them perfect. Each time you will do one of those conversations, you will prove to your brain that you survived it. With time, you will see that people, more often than not, are more friendly than what you think if you just give them the chance. Let's go over a quick homework challenge. In the spirit of starting small, let's go through your first assignment. Yes, here come your first assignment. Within the next few days, challenge yourself to initiate conversation with people that you not usually talk with. It could be saying hi for the receptionist or compliment a stranger's t-shirt at the grocery stores. Afterwards, write down how the conversation went. How did you felt before and after? If it went weird, this is okay. Give yourself a credit, you did it. If the conversation went good, this is excellent. Just note down what you learned. The purpose is to train your brain that initiate conversation, not end up in disaster. With time, you will see your comfort zone expand. Number 5, celebrate small wins. Every time you face fear, no matter how tiny it is, and you finish up live and well and even happy about it, take a moment to acknowledge it. Maybe you ask a question in a meeting even though you've been stressed, or you introduce yourself for a new colleague. This is awesome. Tell someone you know about it. Or even treat yourself for something nice. You've just been doing something awesome. Even a mental high five will do. Every time you will reward yourself for a courageous behavior, you will encourage yourself to do it again and again. It's like you're telling your brain, see, we've been doing that and we survive and now we feel proud. Number 6, remember your why. It could be very beneficial to remember why you're working on this skill. Maybe you're looking to get to know new friends, or you want to expand your networking in order to advance your career, or you're simply tired of feeling nervous in a networking event. Whatever your personal reason is, hold it tight and close to yourself. When fear bubbles up, you can use this motivation in order to come over very fearful situations. This is very good for you. With time, you're gonna see how much of a powerful tool it is. By adopting those mindset shifts, completely normalize the social fear that you feel, rejecting the need to be perfect, questioning limiting beliefs or negative thoughts, and gradually expose yourself to taking more and more risk, you're reprogramming the way you're approaching social situations. It won't happen overnight, but you will see with time, you will start to reject the feeling of fear that you have and adopt resilience and confidence. So we already talked about understanding fear and reshaping mindset over time. Now let's talk about something extremely practical. How you can use a certain techniques in the moment in order to boost your confidence instantly. You can use those techniques either during the conversation or before the conversation. You can think about this lesson as a toolkit for an instant courage. We're mainly gonna focus on two big ones. The first one, 1 second rule, how to come across hesitation and go stronger in the other side. And the second one is how to use certain quick actions, physical actions in your body in order to trick our brain into confidence. Those are short practical hacks that you really must know. Let's dive in. The 1 second rule. This phrase being inspired by a parachute instructor. If you want to jump out of a plane, you better be foolish for 1 second. But what does that mean? When someone go parachuting, often the scariest part is to get a decision to jump out of the plane. Because if you're just gonna stand there and overthink and gonna go like, oh my God, I'm going to fall so fast. What if my parachute won't open? He may freeze and never do it. That's why parachute instructor says, when you are there on the door, don't think about it, just jump. Because soon you out of the plane, the situation already happened and you will have to deal with it. So how this is may imply for real life courage. Let's say you see someone that you want to talk with, but then you feel this fear bubbles up. This fear start going into you from the inside. The trick is to act upon a friendly impulse before your mind have the time to talk you out of that. So for example, if you see someone next to the snacks table and you want to introduce yourself, by walking straight there and saying, hi, my name is Omer, those cookies look great. Have you tried them already? You are short-circuit the overthinking. You not have to be courageous for long, just long enough to initiate the first interaction. Then momentum takes over and it's already happened. By saying, hi, how are you doing? Saying the very first words, you're already in, and then it's become easier to actually keep the conversation going than walk away. Your brain may scream and say, no, please stop, don't do it. But you already doing it before those voices had a chance to get louder. Now, why it works? Our brain is excellent in creating those imaginary scary situations by focusing on the very few words. The hi, the how you doing? We are avoiding overthinking of those imaginary scary situations. I've been using it countless times. I literally count to myself 1, 2, 3, go, and then approach to greet someone or raise my hand to ask a question. Before I have a second thought, I already in the interaction. And you know what? You won't believe, but over time, from a conversation to a conversation, it's become easier because my brain learned that after you cross this second, it's actually not as bad as you think. Now, why won't you go ahead and try it yourself? Next time that you wanna initiate conversation, you see someone and you have this urge, but you feel afraid or scared, just time yourself. Go like 1, 2, 3, go, and just do it. You're gonna be astonished by how the situation unfolds naturally. And before you even notice, you're already speaking with the person and you have new friends and new networking opportunities. Technique number 2, body language boosters and power stand. Did you know that the way you hold your body can actually affect the level of confidence you feel? Body language isn't it an outward signal, it's also loop back and affect the chemistry of our brain. Take for example a power stand. You can imagine it as standing up straight, feet shoulder wide apart, chest a little bit open up, chin a little bit open up, and hands on the hips or a V shape can actually boost the amount of confidence you feel if you hold it for a moment or two. There is a research that suggests that power stand can reduce the level of stress hormones in your blood and increase the levels of confident, of dominant hormones. Whether or not the science is perfect, anecdotally, we do know that people are feeling more confident when they're doing power stand. So how can you use it in social situations, in small talk? Before you going in to this meeting or before you going into this party, take a moment in private. It could be in the hallway or in the bathroom or just outside, and do a quick posture check. You can see if your body is straight, if it's not straight in your body. Keep your chin open, keep your chest open, and give yourself a gentle smile. You can even do the Superman, Wonder Woman classic standing position with the hands on the hips. Just hold it for a moment or two. It may feel silly, but it could really boost your confidence for those same moments that you just start the meetings or the conversation or you're going into this party. Now, if you're not able to do the full power stand, at least do the subtle version of that. Let's say you're in the office or in front of people. Just sit up straight, roll back those shoulders. We tend to hunch when we are nervous. Uncross your arms and leave your hands, relax them on the side of your body. Open body language isn't it only signal to the outside that we are confident and friendly, it's also signal to our own brain that we're safe and sound, which is crucial in confident and in conversations with others. So why won't you go ahead and try it right now? Just sit up straight as you listen and try to do this power stand. Take a few deep breaths. Feel any difference? So how to leverage body language in a conversation? When you're already in a conversation, be mindful for your body language. Maybe you tend to fidget or hide your hands in the pocket when you're speaking and nervous. You can instead use your hands for small gestures if it feels comfortable. It will make you appear more engaging and make you feel more in control. Also, don't forget to leave a proper eye contact. Eye contact isn't it a staring competition, but every time each of you speak, just try to meet each other's eyes. Eye contact can foster a genuine connection and, strangely enough, can reduce the amount of social pressure you feel because instead of looking away, you are facing the fear. There is something more relaxing looking each other's eyes. Lastly, don't forget to keep a warm, genuine smile. This is very important. A warm, genuine smile can put you and the other person at ease. Even if you stress and don't feel like smiling right now, smile anyway. This is how you're gonna signal to your brain that you are easy and comfortable. If you feel nervous in the middle of the conversation, let's say that you're having a conversation and all of a sudden you feel this wave of anxiety. Your heart starts racing and you feel your palms a little bit sweating. In this case, here is a little technique. Try to focus on your physical form. Focus on your feet on the ground, roll those shoulders back, and take a few deep breaths. Focusing on your physical posture will ground you on the present moment and will give you a sense of control. For the other person, he probably won't even notice that, because for him, it may just look like you are straightening your posture. I will share a little story. I used to be really nervous before coming into social events and meet clients. So I came a few moments after to visit the bathroom, not for the obvious reasons. I used to just stand there and do a few moments of power stand and deep breaths. I always used to leave the bathroom more centered than what I came in. And you know what? Those are the events where I perform the best. Since then, I keep doing it even though it feels goofy from time to time, and I keep in it as one of my routines before just approaching a new person or dealing with stressful situations. Combine techniques. The beauty of it is that you can combine any of those approaches. For example, next time you're about to go to an event, you can start by doing some body language prep, the second technique that we spoke about. And then when the moments come and you're about to approach someone, do the 1 second rule. So just go there and greet someone without overthinking. When you're already in the situation, already in the conversation, pay close attention to your posture, keep an open body language, and breathe. By combining those techniques, this 1-2 punch technique of physical prep and then straight you going into the action can take you through a lot of very intimidating situations. Let's do a little bit of a homework challenge, the body language prep techniques. Next time that you are going to an event that you feel a little bit stressful, it could be anything from a party to an event at work. Take a moment in private and do those 2 minutes power stand prep. You can stand up tall, roll your shoulders a little bit back, or raise your hands into a V shape like you just when won a race, and take a moment to take a few breaths here. Maybe you can even put your hands on the hips like a superhero and visualize a positive outcome. I will have a good conversation, I will make friends, I will meet my next employee, whatever your personal reason is. Then go into the room and approach the first person that you see within 5 minutes. By combining those techniques, you can see what works for you and what not works for you. Afterwards, write down everything in your notebook. Write down how it felt. Did you feel more confident? Was the conversation easier? Doing those experiments will help you to understand what works best for you. You've made it for the final class of the first course. Well done. We've already tackled fear from multiple angles. We're understanding it, reshape our mindset, and even using a practical technique to build courage. Before we wrap up this course, we need to address a few irritating myths that often stay in our brain and undermine our ability to be courageous, to be confident in social situations. Those myths are often staying in our brain, seems to be completely logical, but they're actually holding us back. We hinted of a few of them in previous lessons, but now we're gonna lay them and bust them one after the other. After clearing ways from those misconceptions, will allow you to approach conversation more lighthearted. Let's spill some truth into those myths. Myth number 1, people don't want to be interrupted. I shouldn't bother them. Have you ever sit next to someone on a plane or on a lobby and think about striking up a conversation? But then your brain goes like, no, don't do it. People don't want to be bothered. It's gonna be so impolite. Those thoughts are completely natural and normal, especially today where so many of us are glued to our screens or our headphones. We assume that people just want to be locked in their own bubble and to approach them gonna be unwelcome. In reality, humans are social beings. We are social creatures. Why do you think people spending so much time in social media? Because they craving for connection. Humans craving for connections. So saying a polite hello or making a friendly comment could be completely welcoming. People glad to be noticed and engaged with, as long as you are doing it polite and being respectful. Of course, context does matter. If you see someone typing on his keyboard on the laptop like crazy in a passionate manner, or you see someone that seems like he don't have his best days, maybe to approach those people won't be the best choice. But if, for example, you're waiting online for something, or you're waiting for an event to start, a little conversation could be completely fine. Really far from bother people, most people will be glad that you broke the ice for them. It will release them from the uncertainty of whether or not to start a conversation with you. Remember that. Most people think the exact same thing. I want to start a conversation, but I don't want to bother the other person. If someone have to start a conversation, why not you? Now, here is a small caveat. In a certain situation, let's say in a funeral, or someone clearly have the worst day of his life, don't have a good day, maybe a friendly random chit chat won't be such a good idea. Use a common sense. But in general, try to avoid thinking that people don't want to be bothered, because in most cases, it's simply not true, and it will prevent from you to be friendly when it's completely okay to be friendly. Start using it, and you will see how surprisingly you start some of your best conversation by just bother some people for a moment. Myth number 2. If I will show vulnerability, people won't like or respect me. Now, this myth could whisper in so many different ways. Don't ever show vulnerability. Don't ever show that you're scared or concerned. Never admit that you don't know or understand something. Always appear cool and in control. All of those thoughts are part of the same type of fear. Fear that vulnerability equal losing face. But in reality, it's completely the other way around. If you're showing vulnerability, people may like you even more. And being open about a common shared human situation, like for example, you are in a networking event and you say something like, I never know what to do with my hands in those events. Or wearing this name tag feels so weird to me. You become relatable. The other person that listens to you could say something like, oh my God, I feel exactly the same. And then immediately to bond over a common shared experience, a human experience that you just had. Think about the last time you heard someone lecturing or a popular public speaker. They often start by admitting how much they are nervous or excited. Most often they will share a moment of failure or a mishap they had. Now, think about it. Does that make you appreciate them less? Probably not. Probably they warm up in this way the crowd, and it makes them more relatable and more authentic. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to turn every conversation you had into a therapy session or spill every irritating, uncomfortable moment with someone that you just met. But it does mean that you can allow yourself to be more imperfect. You don't have to be perfect, just be authentic. Next time that you can't hear someone, just say, I'm sorry, I can't hear you, can you repeat? Or if you are new in town, you can say something like, I'm new in town and I'm here to meet new friends. This is the reason why I came here tonight. By sharing those moments, by laughing about yourself, saying, I'm sorry, I'm so bad at names, I never remember them, you are exposing those imperfections that actually mark that you are confident. By putting things on the table and say how much you are imperfect, you actually expose how confident you are. And it's attractive. People appreciate realness and humanity over polish and someone that seems to be more slick. A personal note, when I started to learn about social skills, I thought that in order to be good at that, I have to imitate extroverted people, being more outbeat and completely sure of myself. But with time, I started to feel that it was really become heavy on me. I really didn't like it. It felt so fake. And I learned how to be honest, how to say to someone, I'm sorry, I didn't get your name. Can you say it again? Or admit that I feel nervous in social situation in such a big party. And I start seeing people being open to me back, say things like, oh my God, I feel exactly the same. So you should try it. By dare to be open, you get the other person to be open, and that's how you can witness walls falling apart. Number 3, if I will say something wrong, people will think I'm stupid and it's gonna be awful. Now this one playing in our minds in many different ways. Don't ever miss up, otherwise people will judge you. Whether if it's mispronouncing a word, or telling a joke that's not landing well, or simply making a conversation comment that feel a little bit off. We always carrying this feeling that if we're just gonna make a small mistake, people will label us in their head forever. How terrifying is that sound? In reality, people are way more forgetful and forgiveful than what you imagine. Think about the last time you had this kind of a conversation with a stranger or with one person. How often did you listen to their mishaps and judge them? Probably not that often, if any. We are tend to give a pass to others because we understand how hard it is to initiate a spontaneous conversation, but we are not respond in the same coin to our own mishaps. Now, let's say that you really make a mistake. You really mispronounce the name of someone or mispronounce a certain word. In case you, like me, a non-native English speaker. In most cases, it's gonna be a little bit of a laugh, maybe an awkward silence, a polite joke, and then the conversation will carry on for a different topic. Life goes on. Unless you really offended someone, which it's not typical in a small talk, no one would look to think badly of you just because of one wrong thing that you say. In fact, in most cases, they won't even pay attention. You are the only one that's gonna pay attention to your own mistakes, and you're gonna keep rolling it in your head while the others completely forget about it. Now, this could be also a little bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy, because if you are so afraid, so nervous of making mistakes, that you're not saying anything, you could appear cold or a little bit distant. Ironically, holding yourself back can make you appear or can give the negative impression that you try to avoid. So it's always better to engage in a conversation and make mistakes than not to engage at all. And remember that Even if you make a mistake, you can always bounce back. You can always say something like, I'm sorry, in my mind it will sound way funnier. Or even admit this joke didn't land well, and this is okay. In most cases, people will laugh with you. Letting go of perfection. Now, all of those myths are tied together because all of them have a one common base. They all type of perfectionism or an extreme way of self-consciousness. They all say the exact same thing. If you want to engage in a conversation, you better do it perfectly or don't do it at all. But reality of conversation, it's quite different. See, communication, it's this beautiful mess. Conversation going often in zigzag, people saying random stuff. There are a lot of misunderstanding, corrections, and laughter. It's all normal. Letting go of the need of being perfect can release you of actually enjoy the ride or enjoy the conversation, so to speak. Now, here is a simple truth. Most people are friendly or at least natural. They won't look to criticize you on every single word you say. They will be happy if you approach them and start talking to them, and they will forget your mishap really quick or even not remember them. And this is how I know it. People care mainly about themselves. If you're talking with someone in a party or in a social event, you will go home thinking about how you make him feel. He absolutely won't roll what you say word by word on his head as you do most often. Next time that you're about to engage in a conversation, do those quick reality checks. Carry it with you. If you all of a sudden have one of those myths in your head, you can replace it with more balanced way of thinking. For example, if you're about to approach someone and thinking people don't want to be bothered, you can replace it by more balanced thoughts like most people would love to have a genuine, friendly conversation as long as I'm polite. If I were in their shoes, I probably would feel the same. Or if, for example, you start feeling I shouldn't be vulnerable next to those people, you can replace it by, in fact, I know that vulnerability working in my behalf because people may like me more if I'm vulnerable. Or if you're afraid to make any mistakes, you can replace it by, okay, I may make mistakes, but if I do, I know how to recover from that, and it's not the end of the world. Any of those replacements will do. By freeing yourself from those false beliefs, you are removing immense amount of fear and pressure off your head. You can be sure and adopt this mindset that most likely when you're starting a conversation, things gonna work in your favor and the conversation gonna be positive. And if it's positive, you learn something new and you can carry on. Congratulations! You just finished the first course, Overcoming Social Fear and Building Courage. Take a moment to reflect on what you learned and the progress that you made with your mindset. You might want to revisit your journal and write down about the change in your views of social interactions, if there are any. When you're ready, we'll embark on course number 2, where things become more interactive. We'll learn how to perform a smooth interaction. Everything from what to say, how to say it, and how to notice social cues of others. Basically, we're going to ramp up your level by adding more tools to the courage that you already built. Sounds good? See you in course number 2.